Yo, we are live. It's been a while. It's been a while since I went live, so let's just kind of wait for the audience to kind of pick up. How's everything with you, Brendan?
Life is good, Janaid. How about you, bro?
Life is, I can't complain. Like, it's not easy, but it's not bad. Life is all about, kind of working forward, and you know how it is growing a company. It's always like trying to think of the next thing that you can do and all that stuff. So, just doing what I can. So we have a couple people coming in. If you're watching, just drop something in the comments. You've been on StreamYard before, of course you have. Hey, what's up, Roddy? Nice to see you. Let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I don't like butchering names because everyone butchers mine. But yeah, I mean, what's up with you, Brendan?
Life is good, man. Life is good. I mean, with that hairstyle, you're definitely gonna rock it out, brother. Let's go, man.
Yeah, nah, it's because I don't know. My hair's always a mess, man. I'm trying to find something that works. I'm like trying to get that good shampoo and everything. And we have Alex Chambers from Colorado. What's up? One of my friends who's from Colorado. I had a meeting with Travis Lackner's from Colorado.
Ah, awesome.
Hey, what's up, Nakia? Nice to see you. It's been a while. What's up, Jamal? Yeah, look, I upgraded, and look, it's interesting. What's your favorite color, Brendan?
The blue, probably.
Blue. All right. What? Dark blue, light blue. What kind of blue?
Let's go dark blue, man.
Let's go. You see, I can change the
Damn.
colors.
We got like the matching.
Look. I'm on a different plane of existence now. Like
Dude, you're on
this
a
is
whole other
this.
level.
Yeah, and then I owe you. You know what, Joseph? It's been a while. I was like, yo, I gotta call this guy. We gotta catch up. So yeah, keep doing your thing, Shay. Look. I gotta shave that beard. I need a haircut. I need everything, man. I've been working hard. I've been trying to do what I can. Wow, we have 15 people on LinkedIn. Always good to catch up. So yeah, I mean, so let's kind of talk. I mean, what do you want to talk about? It's been a while. I've been wanting you to have you on my live show. So thanks for reaching out.
Yeah, for sure, bro. It's always good to catch up, man. But yeah, I guess the topic should probably be around communication and public speaking, right? Unless you want to talk about something
Yeah,
else.
no, let's talk about it. You know what's all right? So I'll kind of share my communication and public speaking journey. So my friends still laugh about it to this day. This was like must have been. Let me see, 6 years ago. 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. I had a class, online class. So we had to do a presentation, and the presentation was a 5 minute video, and it was due 11:59 on a Sunday. So of course I started at 10 p.m. I was like, yeah, this is only gonna take like 20, 30 minutes.
Makes sense.
I had the slides, I had the info, and let's put in the comments. How long did you got first? Do you guys think I met the deadline? And if so, how long do you think I took? So how long do you think I took for that 5 minute video? Just PowerPoint. So there was no edited, so it was just one shot. Because if I could have edited shots, it would have been easier. But I did it in one shot. And the way I did it was I stood in front of my friend's TV, and my friend's TV was the PowerPoint, and my friends would change the slide. So how long do you think it took?
Mm. I think you met the deadline because
Nah,
grades are important. So for sure you met the deadline. And then I would say probably it took you 30 minutes to 60 minutes.
nah, man. What's up, Teresa? No. So anybody in the comments, feel free to chime in. No. So I did not meet the deadline. I finished at 5 a.m.
Oh shit. So you did miss the deadline.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, thankfully they didn't. It wasn't like too big of a deal. I don't think I lost points, but 5 a.m. And now, I wish Dr. Carla. I wish she said 1 hour 58 minutes. I wish it took like whatever 6 7 hours. And let me tell you, my friends still laugh about it to this day. Even it's like 6. He's like, "Oh, remember that time Jedi said it was only gonna take 30 minutes?" And thankfully I got good friends in me. And the reason was I just kept on messing up. I would say a word wrong. I would forget a word. I would all these things. It would just be wrong. And then after that, I was like, all right, I got to work on my public speaking. I never. And the thing is, I was very comfortable talking to people. I was always the type that I would talk to people randomly. Like I'd sit at like in college, I just sit next to random people, and I made a lot of friends that way. I made friends in the parking lot. Like I'd just be like, "What's up?" That's how I did things, right? Now, after that, I just had to work on my public speaking. Has something like that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah, a bunch of times. I mean, when I started my YouTube channel, right, and I started
Oh,
making videos, like I literally started on my mom's basement on a couch, and that's when
yeah,
I
yeah.
started making videos. So I was horrible because I never had done it before. So my videos would sound something like this. Hi everyone, my name is Brennan from Master Talk, and today we're gonna
Yeah,
talk about. So yeah, dude, it's definitely a journey. And I
yeah,
think what you touched on, I think is super important for people, is that's the reason why most people are scared of public speaking,
yeah,
because we see it like a chore. Like in the
yeah,
example
yeah,
you
yeah.
gave, it was a school assignment, and if you don't do well, you get punished for it.
Yeah, no, that's very true. The other thing is, why is my color changing? Okay, whatever. I don't know.
It's magic.
Um, it is magic. I'm like trying to figure out because I was like, why is it changing? Wow, it is changing. It's pulsating. So why is that happening? Hold up. I'm sorry. These things distract. Oh, I chose a different theme. What? Okay, that's cool. All right, so I'll keep it. Look at this. My bad. This is like fascinating to me.
It's pretty fascinating, actually.
All right, I'll keep it just. All right, I'll have it changing. All right, that's cool. So sorry about that. Now, yeah. So I was working. I realized I need to work on my public speaking skills, and then when I was in grad school, someone mentioned something called Toastmasters. They're like, "Hey, there's a Toastmasters club coming," and I was like, "Whatever this is, I need to do it." Right, and it it really changed my life. Right, because I became the president of the club. I ran unopposed. So no, I gave a speech. No one ran against me, and I was a part of that club. I'm still a part of the club to this day.
Wow.
But I helped grow the club to the second largest. I think it became the largest in North America. So that's very crazy. And then Alex Chambers said, "Is that a hatch light?" No, honestly, I bought these for sale for like $20. They were on sale from $30, and they're pretty cool. So yeah, this is. But yeah, you know what? One thing about public speaking is like some people will look at these YouTube videos and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I wish I should have become a YouTube star, this and that." It's not easy at all. Like it's how long? So when did you start your YouTube journey?
I started YouTube in January 2019. So now it's been 2 years,
Two
9 months,
years,
almost three now.
14K subscribers.
Trying our best, bro.
Yeah, I mean it's a grind. So how was your subscriber growth looking like? Because I know YouTube is a grind. Like I want to do a YouTube channel, but I know it. Like I'm gonna tell you, YouTube content creators are the most creative, right? You get no algorithm help. You get none of that stuff, and you just got to be good and you got to hustle, right? It's not like TikTok. There's some hacks you could do, right? LinkedIn, you could be super lazy and just steal content and basically blow up. But TikTok, you need to be good, man. So can you kind of share that?
You really have to be on YouTube. And you made a post about this a few days ago where
Yeah,
you were kind of bashing on LinkedIn careers, which I completely agree with. That's
yeah,
what I said on the post. Because the quality bar is so low on most socials. Whereas
yeah,
on YouTube, you pretty much have to produce documentaries. It's kind of gotten
yeah,
to this point because
yeah,
everyone's really good on the platform and you can make money off YouTube
yeah, yeah.
directly from Google. So a lot of people really want to do well because it can give you financial freedom.
Yeah, and then Jamal, I'll send you the links to the lights. Yeah, just send me a DM. And thank you, Maria. Thank you so much for coming by. And look, I know how it is. I always appreciate everyone who stops by my live. All of you are amazing. And so, what inspired you to do YouTube?
Yeah, for me, what inspired me to do YouTube, man, was when I was in university. Similar to how you did Toastmasters, I did something similar, a bit different, called case competitions.
Mm,
So think of it like professional sports, but for nerds. So while other guys my age are playing like soccer or football or something else that was dangerous, as you can tell, I'm not built for these kinds of things. You can tell by
nah, I see those
looking at
muscles.
it's yeah,
Yeah,
maybe yeah,
yeah,
it's not working out so much with some of the other UFC fighters you brought on the show, but
yeah,
I think the key is I just did these presentations. That's what I fell in love with, and
yeah.
I presented hundreds of times. But it was through that process that I accidentally got really good at communication coaching,
Mm,
because I was coaching these students, right? And we didn't really have money for a speech coach,
yeah.
so I did that, and that's what ended up. That's what led to Master Talk.
Wow, that's so cool, man. I'm really glad you did it because it's like it's such an underrated skill. The thing is, it looks easy to present in front of an audience. Like it looks like, oh yeah, you could do it. But you see a lot of people they'll judge athletes for not being good on the mic. They'll just and it's like it's not easy. It's not easy at all. You have this camera in your face. It it's not. I've seen people right. They struggle even on like podcasts. They struggle with a lot of things. So being able to speak and being able to give a message and be clear, it's not easy. And for me, I got good because So I'm gonna tell you something. Well, you probably know most students, especially in university, don't care about public speaking, right? So have you kind of seen that? It's like the last thing. If it's grades and partying, I feel like are the two things students care about outside, and sometimes they only care about partying, right? So have you kind of experienced that with students? That communication is something that like they don't that they kind of push to the side.
Yeah, I guess it depends on who you're speaking to in the university, but I would say
But
in general.
as a general trend, there are
Oh
always some
yeah,
students who care.
definitely as a general trend. Most people don't, but I think the people who do are people who are really involved in school. So if you're part of
Yeah.
student clubs or leadership clubs, I found those people to be really
No,
receptive
they are good.
to
They are
that.
good. And so I found like it was tough. So we actually had to do at I went to Columbia University and we had a Toastmasters club. We had to actually recruit outside the students because students wouldn't stay. They wouldn't stay consistent. They kind of care about their grades and they wouldn't stay consistent. So we got outside the club. And then what always ended up happening was I was like the glue that kept the club together. So I had to show up or else the club would die. So there were meetings. So there were meetings. I'd walk in. Oh, speakers didn't show up. Okay, I got to give a random speech that I just had in my back pocket, and then I had to give like I had to give. I had to like take on four or
Give like
five
three
roles.
speeches.
No, I had to take a speech, be table topics master, evaluate something, and all that. And it forced me right. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know who was gonna show up. I didn't know how many people were gonna show up. But I did that for years, and eventually I had more help. But that's what really forced me and got me good. And then I started watching people speak, right? And I started observing speak, because you know that when you are a speaker, you look at speeches differently, right? Like most people look at a keynote and they're like, "Wow, this guy was amazing." But I look at a keynote and I think about the structure, the delivery, the pauses, the word choice, their body language, right? All these things have an impact. So, what are some things you kind of see uh, that like students generally? What are some first things that they should kind of do when it comes to speaking? And ask questions from the crowd. We say people say get these kids into debate clubs. That's not a bad option. It's always good to know. And Jamal, you mentioned how you have an issue with tagging. I uninstalled the app and reinstalled it, and that fixed my issues. So try that. Nice to see you, Travis. I had a great meeting with him today. And what's up, Liam? Thanks for coming. And look at the lettuce on these two studs. All right, so yeah, what's up? My bad. I keep on going on and on.
No, it's good, man. It's good. It's good to get involved, people involved and stuff. But yeah, man, I think for me the tip that matters the most for people who are listening is what I call the puzzle method.
Yeah.
So I've always seen public speaking and speech structure like a jigsaw puzzle.
Mm.
So let's say I asked you if you're working on a jigsaw puzzle, those toy puzzles you used to as kids, which pieces would you start with first and why?
Yeah. No, I think that's good. Like you start with what the corner pieces, right?
Exactly. So why would you start with the corner pieces? I agree.
It's just easy to see what's next, right? Or else if you start with the middle, it's kind of like hard to see like where exactly in the middle, right? You have, but I feel like with the corner, you can start build the next one, build the next one. So I really like that analogy.
Right. But here's the thing, right, Junaid? Is we don't do that in public speaking. We do the opposite. We start with the
Mm.
middle first, and then we
Mm.
do the edges. So when we get into a presentation, we ramble throughout the whole thing, and then when we get to the ending, it sounds something like this. Yeah. So, yeah. So thanks.
Mm.
And that's the structure. That's the problem. So what you want to do in presentations is start with the edges first. Practice your introduction 50 times.
Ah.
Do it 50 times because it doesn't take you that long. Your intro's a minute, right? Same thing
Yeah.
with the conclusion. What's a great movie with a terrible ending? Last time I checked, terrible movie, right? 50
Yeah.
times the ending. Then go for the middle. But much like
Ooh.
Toastmasters or puzzles, who in the world does 1,000 piece puzzles on their own? Nobody I know. Go do it
Yeah.
together. Go work with the team. Find some friends. Have fun.
Ooh, I love that analogy. No, I mean, that makes sense because my post on LinkedIn, I start with the end. I think of a punchline and then, or I'll have the beginning. So it is a good thing because it's like the middle is so many people, yeah, they just focus on the story, they focus on that, but they don't think about like the delivery, how they're going to do it. And once you start off the flow, and even like in interview prep, I tell people like the beginning is very important. How you start off the interview it just sets the tone for the rest of the interview. And then let's see. So Kenneth, nice to have you, Kenneth, Liam, uh, Sherry, thanks for stopping by. And Garen says, go knock some doors. He's a sales guy. I think knocking on some doors. Have you ever seen the guy on YouTube? It's this black guy who sells like some washer. He's like one of like one of the best salesmen I've ever seen. Like it's like like doorknob washer type thing. This cleaning solution. He's so funny.
Wow, I have to check this out.
You gotta check. It's like one of those videos that has like a million, millions of views.
Damn.
Yeah. So good closer. But yeah, I mean, so what are some things that you kind of see that people need to like will help them work on their confidence?
Yeah, I think what would be important, and especially since a lot of the people that are listening are probably people looking for jobs, right? That's what you're really doing with your movement,
Yeah.
right, Janine? So I think for me, I think what would be super important is to talk about the idea of confidence, especially when you're doing job interviews
Yeah.
or you're getting coffees and stuff. So I'll give you a quick example in the context of job interviews, and people can vote in the chat, like, who do you prefer, candidate A or candidate B?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll just quickly demonstrate a tell me about yourself, and then you'll notice the difference between the two. So let's go with candidate A. Candidate A, without which confidence, sounds something like this. Yeah. So hi, Janae. My name's Brendan, and I have this
Yeah.
work
You're get out of here. Get
experience.
out of here.
Like he's already got
Get
fired,
Yeah. Yeah.
got kicked out, right? Versus candidate B, who sounds something more like, "Hi, Junaid. It's so great to meet you. My name's Brenden Kumarasamy. If there's one thing that you remember from this interview, is that I help other people achieve rocket ship level success. And there's
Yeah.
three key
Ooh.
experiences that have enabled me to achieve this outcome. Number one is my experience at PricewaterhouseCoopers and IBM serving and protecting clients, whether it's their financial statements or their technology, digital transformations. Then I go through the whole thing. And then at the end, I go, and that's why I'm so excited to interview for this position. Thanks so much for having me in this opportunity. I
Yo,
look forward to.
yo, can I
Right?
hire? You're hired already.
It's like
No,
magic.
confidence is so important in an interview because what a lot of people don't get is if you don't think you belong there, why would the person think you belong there, right? And it's so important. And you know why it's also important is that in order to show the best version of yourself, you have to show others. You have to be confident, right? Like you're not if you're not confident, you're not going to show the best version of yourself. You're not going to, show your A game. And then the thing is, if you're not confident, you're going to forget about your experiences. You're going to be nervous. You're not going to share anything. And it's like, look, you could be better at the job, but again, they don't have much to judge on. And they're going to judge you based on the interview, and you have to be able to communicate why you belong there. And then so people are all hiring B. So that's important. And then thank you all for watching on a Friday night. It's I really appreciate the crowd. I really appreciate that all of you are tuning in. So, what are some things that you kind of like? You've been at this right for 2 years, right? How has your communication style really changed over those 2 years? Because having a YouTube channel forces you to watch other creators, right? To give you some other inspiration. How has your style changed?
Yeah, it's a fascinating question. I think for me, what's changed is I've brought a lot more structure. So I'll give an example. When you're creating content on YouTube, you can't waste a second of your audience's time because they'll just click away. It's not like a
Yeah, yeah.
TikTok video that ends in,
Oh, YouTube
right?
is so unforgiving.
Yeah, it's very unforgiving. So I script out everything I write on YouTube word for word,
Yeah. How long does
literally
that take?
a lot. I've written years and years and years of content ahead of time in my
Wow.
first year of creating YouTube videos because I knew this would happen, right? Because the key is if you're not like if you're in a presentation setting, like you're in person, you could miss a couple of points. It doesn't really
Yeah.
matter because the audience is right in front of you and they're
Yeah.
really engaged. But if you're on a YouTube video, you're not there to answer questions. If something's not clear, they'll just click away. They won't understand it, and more importantly, they won't share it with other people. So it's super important on YouTube, and that's what I've learned is really mastering the camera, right?
Mm.
Mastering camera presentations and being having that personality on camera is really structuring your thoughts before you jump in front of the camera so that you're not wasting your audience's time.
Yeah. I think it's very important. Like as a content creator, you have to really respect your audience, right? You're there to serve your audience. Yes, it could be fun, it could be that, but at the end of the day, the audience has to like you, right? And if the audience doesn't like you, you know what? YouTube is so unforgiving, man. You'll get these comments, and some of them will be so savage and hilarious, and it's like, man, like you have to have like thick skin. Like, have you gotten the troll comments and all that stuff? Like, how do you kind of handle that?
Yeah, Alex Hormozy is a mentor of mine that I look up to. I watch a lot of his YouTube stuff, and he has this video on some of the lessons he learned from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And what he said in that video really shocked me, which is if you want to help 10,000 people, you need to be prepared with the fact that 500 people are really going to hate your guts.
I like that.
Right. And I think that analogy applies for whatever insert number here. You have to deal with the fact that 5% of those people are always going to hate you. And that's why someone like Arnold, to draw that analogy of what Alex was explaining, is that's why Arnold has security. Not necessarily because he wants to have a private life, but
Yeah.
because even when he's cheering on children at some charity event, people are still trying to attack him because people are crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right?
No, you know
So that's the
it's
point.
and you know the other thing is your haters actually contribute to your success. What a lot of people don't get is if someone's making a comment, someone's engaging on the video, that's good. Whether it's a bad comment or a good comment, right? Other people get emotional. Your fans get emotional. They respond back, and it's like it's all helping you, right? So that's why it's super important, right? I've seen it all the time. Like I'll post some content, you'll get someone who's like butt hurt because they believe it's personally against them, but it's like, no, dude, a lot of recruiters suck, and just because you're a good one doesn't mean the other ones don't suck. And they'll kind of get upset, but it's like they'll be like, "No, this is not the way," and it's like, "What are you
It's
talking
not
about?
the
Look at,"
way.
or "Hey, this is not true. What do you know? What do you know what you're talking about?" Even though there are 50 other comments agreeing with me. So just realize that there are some people who are just there to sort of bring you down, but just look at them, look at it as a gift. Look at them as like, hey, you're not there to please them. You're here to please the other ones. They're there to sort of get other people emotional, get other people engaged. So really use that for you. And again, it's still kind of, you still get riled. I still get riled up, but at the end of the day, it's like, look, it's better than being ignored, right? It's better than doing something and getting 2 views, of which they were accidental, right? They thought they clicked on something else. So that's another thing. Now, what have you sort of learned from YouTube, creating content on YouTube?
A lot. And just to touch on something you said as well, there's this great question that Lewis Howes once asked on a podcast that always stuck with me. And it really goes to how far you want to succeed in life. And the question was, would Michael Jordan write a negative book review on Amazon? Right? Would
Wow.
would Michael Jordan sit down and write a negative book review on Amazon? Right? Sounds ridiculous. He would never do that.
Yeah, yeah, he
Right? Why
wouldn't.
would he waste his time?
Yeah, yeah.
And that question serves as an analogy for all of us. If we want to
Mm.
achieve high levels of success in our life, none of those people at the top are sitting on their computers writing negative shit about other people because
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
been in the ring.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
know how
yeah.
hard it is. They might give you constructive criticism, but at the end of the day, they'll cheer you on because they know how hard it is. And that is the same thing with YouTube. Like I think for me, the biggest thing I've learned about YouTube is it's a great lesson that people should be thinking about their personal brands across decades, not days.
Yeah.
Because most people, especially whether it's on LinkedIn or really any other social media, they're always thinking about the next post, but they're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
actually thinking about who they want to be on social 10 years from now. And
Yeah.
that's a big mistake. But if you're on YouTube, you have no choice but to think that way, or else you'll never be successful on YouTube.
No, you do have to think long term. You know what's funny? I have some people, Cheryl, she's known me for like 10 years, right? So that it's so interesting. She's probably seen me grow and all that. So thank you for the support and the 5% rule. Thank you so much for your comments, Dr. Carla. Thank you. Shout out to Teresa. Thank you, Olivia, for joining. And I think you really have to think long term because a lot of people, they're hoping their next post goes viral. They're hoping this goes viral. But here's the thing: you can't depend on virality because virality is so random, right? There are some people who are good at engineering, but then it's like huge campaigns, huge strategy. Sometimes you see some of the most random posts go viral, and for whatever reason, what you can depend on is consistency, right? What you can depend on is, hey, I know with 14K followers, I can get about X. What is it? 10% is like good on YouTube on a regular video, and some videos pop for whatever reason, right?
Yeah, 5 to 10% is usually really good.
Yeah, and it just takes you want to focus on consistency because that consistency that 14.2 will turn to 15 and then that 15 will turn to 16,000 and it'll slowly go up and then eventually you'll be 100K and then maybe you'll invite me to a YouTube episode or something. And Nakia asked, talking about platforms, if you have a topic or idea, want to talk about which platform should we start with? YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, pros and cons, and that's a very hard question and long. It's hard because it's such a long answer, what I would kind of say is you got to figure out what the audiences on the platform sort of like, and just realize that on each platform there are different audiences, right? There's like a corner of TikTok that are just for dads who like watch like power tool videos, right? There's a corner of TikTok, like I've actually gotten good sales advice from TikTok, like good business and sales advice, because again, it's like algorithms, it's what you kind of watch. So there is that corner, right? And on LinkedIn, right, people are more job seeking, more professional. So that's that. And there are Facebook groups that focus on public speaking, right? I'm actually part of a public speaking Facebook group. So just realize that I would focus on the platform that you're most comfortable with and then slowly start from there. But focus on one platform and then go out from there. I mean, I like LinkedIn, but just I'll tell you, YouTube is a grind. It's such a grind.
I love that. I think what I would add in addition to what you said, Junaid, which I think is really good, is think about what is the goal? What's the end goal for your content creation? And the other piece is what is the medium that you like consuming content on and creating content for?
Yeah.
So think of someone like Seth Godin. Like he
Yeah.
has a very successful blog. You ain't gonna see me writing a blog anytime soon. I don't
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it. It doesn't play to my strengths.
Yeah. Definitely true.
So it's important to think about like if you don't like video, that's fine. Write a blog, and if you don't like a blog, start a podcast. I think the key is pick the medium that you feel you can play the longest for, and
Yeah.
that's ending up being the medium of choice for you.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer because for me, look, I don't mind video, I don't mind podcasts, but the editing video that's not something I do, right? And I
Me
don't have
neither.
like the resources for it either. So that's why it's like tough for me. But like posts go so easy, but I'm not a big blog writer either. Like I'm not necessarily someone to write blog because a post is like a short thing, right? It's like writing a paragraph. That's easy, right? And structuring a paragraph. Whereas a post is like you're thinking about subsections, you're thinking about XYZ. So think about what you like doing, think about your personality, whether you're introvert, extrovert, and just realize that now you can repurpose content. So what I kind of do is I do a podcast, right? My podcast editor edits it. He picks out 4 clips, right? Then it's transcribed. Then I could have someone go through the podcast and write an article about it. So you can be strategic with a lot of content, right? But I'm gonna keep emphasizing YouTube is tough and just what's the typical timeline? Like I've kind of seen that it takes people like 2 years to even get some moderate success on YouTube. Is that what you kind of see?
That's what I've seen. It took me 2 years and a half to hit 10K.
2.5, and then how far to hit 14?
Yeah,
Then
but
another.
now it's growing quickly. Now I'm
Mm,
growing at 1,000 subscribers a month.
wow, wow,
Yeah,
you're famous.
yeah. Get out of here.
No, that I mean that's impressive because it's like I've seen it. That whole. It's funny. The LinkedIn has been opposite. I think I grew to whatever and now it's slower, but it is what it is. But no, that I've seen that with YouTube. Like once you're a certain size. And do you have any stats on YouTube, like how many people quit after X number of videos and stuff?
Oh yeah, YouTube has the best stats in the industry by far. That's available for free.
Yeah,
100%. Like countries of people watching by order,
yeah.
percentages, which ones have the most watch time,
No,
everything pretty
no. I mean
much.
stats on like for podcasts. Most podcasts quit after 7 episodes. So most podcasts don't like 90 or 95%
Oh,
podcasts don't last 90 days. So what's the deal with YouTube? Like, do you have stats regarding that?
I'm pretty sure there's stats. I don't know them unfortunately, but if I had to
Yeah,
guess, it's probably way worse than podcasts because YouTube is way harder than starting a
yeah.
podcast.
Because podcasts you just talk to someone and
Yeah,
then yeah,
technology is
yeah.
easier.
Let's see. Quits YouTube. There's a YouTube chat. Quit. I I gotta I gotta see the stats, but YouTube has been growing, right? It's crazy. Like I know people spend a lot of time on YouTube. The majority of all users, males, are 62%. 1 billion users. Yeah, so if someone has those stats, and what's up, Craig? Thanks for stopping by. And always appreciate shouting out the people who sort of come by and support me. And any questions from the crowd, like what do you struggle with? What do you want to get better in? And then feel free, let me know if you want a link to the lights and stuff. I'll send you a link.
Be sure it's an affiliate link. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. No, I mean I got an affiliate link too. But look, I'm gonna tell you something. Apparently, you're not supposed to send affiliate links through DMs. It's weird. Amazon rule.
Hmm.
Not general affiliate, but Amazon affiliate links. You know why?
Okay.
So Amazon, you're not supposed to send it to something they can access offline. It's like a weird thing. So you're not supposed to put it in email. You're not supposed. You can put it on a web page that you link to in an email, and they link to the web page. It's like some weird rules on Amazon. Like you can't put it in a PDF. You can't put affiliate links in a PDF and stuff. So it's so weird.
Hmm.
It's
Interesting.
yeah, yeah. So I'm like careful because Amazon, like They just have too much power when it comes to their programs.
They'll bite you.
Uh, which platform is most monetizing? Again, it all depends. There's no right or wrong answer. There's some people monetizing on LinkedIn, some people monetizing on YouTube, monetizing like it all depends what your product is, how you go about it. And monetizing is, are you monetizing through ad revenue? Are you monetizing through leads? Right? So it's really gonna, and it's again, it's like it doesn't matter which platform, like it matters which platform you know how to monetize well. So again, it's kind of tough to answer uh, because again, long monetize and here's the thing: monetizing is typically a long-term game because you have to build an audience first before you think about monetizing because you're competing with people who have way bigger audiences than you. How now? What were some things that you found really helped you on YouTube?
Here's the most important one, Junaid. If you're not willing to play for a decade on YouTube, and I seriously mean that, if you're not willing to play for 10 years, you really shouldn't be creating content on the platform. You won't succeed. Like for
Mm,
me, I could pretty much tell anyone who's a decent creator, I always promise, yeah, you can totally get 100,000 subscribers. And they go, how? And I always respond with post one video a week, don't miss a week for 10 years, and you'll definitely get 100K.
wow. That's yeah. I mean, that's a successful formula. So for all of you in the crowd, 52 weeks. That's 520 videos.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, content is a grind, but the beauty is repurposing content is a very interesting thing. Like people can take clips of your YouTube and have TikToks, and you can post it to Twitter, and you can turn articles, you can turn it to tweets and stuff. So just get creative and stuff. Uh,
Yeah. YouTube is like playing AAA sports or professional sports like NBA, MLB,
yeah.
and then you're create but then you go to the other socials and you're playing in the Pee Wee leagues.
You
Right.
are, hundred
Right.
percent,
Which is
hundred
great.
percent. And then LinkedIn is like little league baseball.
That's like junior
Yeah, little league baseball and stuff like that. And Dr. Carla says camera shy, not sure how successful a podcast would be. See, here's the thing: a podcast is not camera; it's more audio, and it's a conversation. I found podcasts like I've seen people who've like they're like, "Hey, I'm kind of nervous." Podcast is all about the host. Podcasts are a lot easier. It's very conversational. So, and consistency is key regardless of what you do. It's like, and I find the more consistent I am for longer, the more results. Like the results compound, right? It's because it's like, look, now I've done over 300 resumes. So now I have 300 potential referral sources, and the people I work with, they give me referrals. So there are some people I've worked with 6 months ago who give me a referral, some a year ago who give me a referral, some 2 years ago. So these are things, but again, it takes time. So what motivated you to become a public speaking coach?
Yeah, so what happened, Junaid, is after I had coached a lot of these people in the case competitions I was telling you about earlier, I just got really good at communication coaching, mostly because nobody could afford one and people needed me to like help the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
students out. But what happened is after that experience, like I got a job in management consulting at IBM. I didn't want to be like a communication coach.
yeah.
But before I started working there, a lot of people that I used to coach asked me a question I didn't have an answer to. The question was, how did you learn how to speak? Did
Mm,
you go to Toastmasters? Did you hire your own coach? And I just went, no. And they're like, did you watch any YouTube videos? And I said, why would I watch YouTube videos on that? And then I started watching YouTube videos on the topic. That's what gave me the idea for Mass Talk because nobody was making content
mm.
on that specific niche at that specific quality that I was thinking of in my head.
Yeah.
So that's what led to Master Talk. And I guess I had a knack for it. And it turned out to be my gift.
No, I mean, look, you're very good at it, and I tell people with those who don't have college degrees for my the no degree fan base, public speaking is a skill. I'm telling you, a lot of people with degrees don't tend to focus on. So if you have the public speaking skills, it'll help you regardless of what you do. If you're selling, you'll get more sales. If you're interviewing, you'll get better jobs. When you're negotiating, you'll be more confident. It doesn't matter dating, even just your friends, right? Being able to stand up for what you believe is right. You want to be treated a certain way. So focus on the public speaking skills. It's something a lot of people neglect. So when you do have them, you're gonna set yourself apart.
Completely agreed with you, man. Especially in the context of your community,
Yeah.
right? It's such an advantage. It doesn't matter if the guy you're competing against went to Harvard. If you're a better communicator than that person, they'll think you went to Harvard.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? The prison debate team beat Harvard.
The prison debate team?
There's a prison debate team, and they're actually really good, and they beat
Wow.
Harvard. Yeah, they like go head to head with like some of these top debate teams, and they like research the topics, and they use like print books and stuff because they don't have digital and all that. So it there's a prison team in, like, I believe, somewhere in New York State, but it just shows how, again, that public speaking, it's like it doesn't matter what your background is, you can master it. And I've seen a lot of people who may not be the most have the most traditional education, but they have a knack for public speaking because they have to if they sort of want to seize opportunity.
That's awesome. I love that. I didn't know that story.
Yeah. So now let's see. I Yeah, and culture is a big thing. I feel like, I'm Bengali. Where are you from?
So I'm from Montreal. My parents are from Sri Lanka.
So is public speaking like emphasized in your culture?
Not really.
Yeah, I find like Bengalis, Indians, a lot of like Desi brown cultures, they don't tend to emphasize public speaking, right? It's all grades and studying and all that stuff. Get a good job, but you, it just and it sucks because it's like I wish. Thankfully, I like got more confident in the senior year of high school, but I wish I was confident much earlier. It would have just opened me up to a lot of opportunity.
Absolutely, man. I'm with you. I wish it was emphasized too. And that's the bigger mission of what I'm doing, right? It's like, it's similar to what you're doing with no degree. It's like, how do you give more access to people who don't have the resources? And that's why I think we're so aligned in what we do. But absolutely, right.
Yeah, and then I think more and more it's being emphasized culturally, but it's also a lot. It's confusing. It's like most people just say, "Hey, just talk more, just present more," but there is like structure, and there are a lot of little steps, right? There are a lot of little foundations. What are like the three things you would tell people, right? That puzzle thing. What are some of what were the three things you would kind of tell people to sort of get started in the right direction?
Yeah, I would say besides puzzle, here are three other things I can share. So the first one is a question that most of us don't ask ourselves about communication. Because when you think of communication, Junaid, all of the languaging around it is negative.
Yeah,
Stress, anxiety, hate it, don't want to do it. So we need to break that languaging. So the first question I have for all of you that I encourage you not just to write down, but to do the exercise.
yeah.
The question is, how would the world change if you were an exceptional communicator?
Ooh, I like that.
Right? If you're really good at communication, top 1% of your industry, world, how would that world be different? Describe that world in vivid detail. And that's the first step. That's number
Yeah,
one. Second
yeah,
thing I would share is random word exercise. This is easy. All you got to do is pick a random word: tissue box, cup, light bulb, basement. I'm looking at a bunch of stuff in my house. Just pick a random word. Make presentations out of thin air. This improves your confidence really rapidly.
yeah.
That would probably be number two.
Okay, interesting. What's number three?
And then number three was normally puzzle, but since we already talked about puzzle,
Oh, okay, okay.
I would say the third one that's more important, most important, besides puzzle, is don't do it alone. I don't know
Yeah,
why public speaking is perceived as, oh, I gotta like write this speech alone in my basement and nobody's
yeah.
supposed to bother me. No, it's when I used to compete in competitions, or even today when I practice keynotes, it's never a solo process. And you don't need a
Mm,
coach either. It's literally
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay, you're taking videos and you're sending it to your friends and family, even if they're not speech coaches, they're just giving you feedback. It's the community piece that matters because that's what holds you accountable to doing it.
yeah. No, I think that those are three good pieces of advice, and I would highly recommend it. Just it makes stressful situations a lot easier because you either know how to speak your way through it, speak your way out of it, or just handle it to the best of your ability. Hey, Juana, nice to meet you. Now, I'm gonna take a little break. This show is sponsored by. No, I'm just joking. I,
I
no,
was
no,
like, I didn't know this show had a sponsor.
no. I wish. I wish. I hope I get big enough that one day I get a sponsor.
Let me bring in a sponsor here. It's like the HR.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, one day I'll get a sponsor. I'm actually looking for a sponsor for my podcast. So anybody in the audience who could hook me up, let me know if you have any contacts. But on another note, so what's the goal with your YouTube channel? Like, are there any numbers you want to hit? Like, what are so you have content now? You have content what for the next 2 years, 3 years right now?
Yeah, I'm done until end of 2023 currently.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty nuts. That's why LinkedIn was such a cakewalk. Like I've written my content for LinkedIn like 6 months in advance, which is
Yeah.
not very good for somebody like me.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean that's phenomenal. I just
Mhm.
have the next. So you know what's my strategy for LinkedIn? I write one line, and then I'll just pick. Okay, that's the line.
And then
Boom.
you write agree, disagree.
Ah, dude, they're so lame. No, so I have the one line, and that's like my beginning or end, or that's what I structure around, and that's how I do my LinkedIn posts.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She said Old Spice, no degree, so it has a nice ring to it. I just need to be super fit so I can be in those commercials, like in the bathrobe and everything.
Yeah,
So
don't hire me for that. I'm not definitely not your man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So what are sort of the personal goals that you have?
Yeah, man. For me, my mission is summarized in this, which is the following. I think the next Elon Musk is a 7-year-old girl in Cambodia. But since she can't afford communication coaching, she needs to rely on somebody who has really good free resources, and I want to be that person. I don't think there's
Mm,
anyone else in their 20s currently making YouTube videos for that specific demographic.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so the goal is that the next Elon Musk is watching my YouTube videos when they're 15, so that when they're
Wow.
25, they're really good communicators. That's my big dream.
Yeah. So I'm actually gonna put a link to your YouTube channel in the comments. So anybody who wants to follow him, and again, you can always DM me. Always kind of do those things. Oh, you know how many subscribers I'm at? I'm at 37. So
1,000.
no, no, no. Dude, if I was at 37,000, I'd have Old Spice and what is it? The degree? The degree is the other one, right? The degree deodorant. I gotta get that. I'd be like degree or no degree, right? Something like that.
Oh,
So
it's true. I used to have that deodorant. That's
yeah,
good.
the degree. So yeah,
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
put
that's
your let me see the 5 public speaking tips. I'm gonna put that video. Man, you have a great camera, man. What camera do you use for?
I have no idea. I just have a good producer. He does everything.
So he like comes to you, like what? How does it work? Like he comes to your house and he takes the video?
Bro, you think that's my house?
Yeah, I
Nah,
don't know. It
man.
looks.
My
Yeah, I don't know.
my friend has my friend knows the owner of a suit shop in Montreal. So
Okay,
we
that's a
film there every few weeks. Yeah.
wow. So you have to pay
Yeah,
the guy, or
Danny.
how does it work?
Oh yeah, Danny. Well, Danny's my one of my best friends.
Yeah,
So I actually approached him the first time,
yeah,
and with my first ever YouTube video, and I said, "Do
yeah,
you think this video has legs?" He watched it, like me and my mom's couch, and she was like, "Hey, you're not bad at this. It's actually not bad. I think you should keep doing this." So I just kept practicing in my basement for a
yeah,
year, like literally over there.
yeah,
And then after a year of doing it, I got really good on camera. But since I had a really lucrative job at IBM,
yeah,
I had saved up a bunch of money because I live with my parents.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So from all of those savings, I went up to Danny and I said, "Hey man, would you be interested in producing my videos?" He's like, he looked at my stuff, he saw my consistency, he's like, "Yeah, I'll give you a massive discount. Let's do it. Let's blow it up to the moon." And then my YouTube channel blew up after that.
So the key is that camera and the background.
Yeah.
All right,
But
fine.
I would encourage people because this is important for people to hear is like I didn't start
No,
the
you
way
didn't
the
start with
videos,
that,
right? Go watch my oldest video. Go watch Marcus Brownlee's oldest videos. He has like 10 million subs.
dude.
His first
It took
his
him
like
2 years. It took him what is it? 2 years for him to even get some traction.
yeah, something like that. He started when he was like 15.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
literally a kid in a basement. He's like, go watch his
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
It's super inspiring. But yeah, that's the key, people. Like, I think the key to YouTube is try it once a week and
yeah,
see if you even like it. Most people just drop out. Like, I don't
yeah,
think it's worth it for most. But for people like me who have a very clear mission and intention with
yeah,
YouTube,
yeah,
like, I don't care if my videos get 5,000 views, 5 million views, or 50 views. I'm going to keep
yeah.
creating on YouTube.
No, yeah. I'm looking at your earlier video, man. It's just nah. It's good, but it's not. You don't have that nice couch in the background.
Yeah, I
Like
don't got
that.
that couch.
Yeah, yeah. The camera. No, I mean that's cool, man. So what's the most amount of views that you got on a video?
My most popular one, I got lucky with it, and that tends to happen when you're 2 years on YouTube. There's one that hits.
Yeah.
So one of my videos currently is actually getting 750 views a day right now, which is
Oh
pretty
wow.
nuts.
And how?
Uh,
What's the total that you have?
I, I think it's got like it's my main video. You see it on the
Yeah, yeah.
trailer.
16K.
No, no, there's one
No,
above that.
171K.
That's the key. That's the one.
Whoa,
But that
that's
one's still growing a lot because what's nice about YouTube, the benefit is that your content lives forever. So if your content's
mm,
really good, like that one ranks on most public speak. Like if you type
yeah.
public speaking training, I rank second, which is nuts.
Oh, who ranks first?
Mind Valley ranks
You know
first.
what? I'm gonna tell you, Mind Valley, their videos are production is like totally like out of this galaxy,
I mean, they have a whole team, right? It's kind of like
dude.
Gary Vee, right? They
Yeah,
got
yeah.
millions
But
in the
even then, his
bank.
videos are better than Gary. Very these are like just him like cursing and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and him just speaking his thoughts. Mind Valleys are like totally a different production level, man. Like, I'm connected. Are you connected with the guy on LinkedIn? I'm connected with him.
Wait, you have a relationship with Bishop?
Well, connection, whatever,
I'll
but
connect. I
like
was like,
it's
damn.
not really. But dude, his videos, his content, like when I see a Mind Valley video, that's like my ultimate goal. Like if I could produce videos like Mind Valley, boof, I'm set for life.
But yeah, man, I think if there's anything you can learn from my journey, Junaid, and everyone, is it doesn't
Yeah,
cost that much to actually create high quality. You just need to have the right person who's bought into you,
yeah. No,
right? Like,
I think that's true. That like yeah, I'm not. For me, you see, look, these blue lights are. This is the highest. I actually need another white light because it's like I don't know these. I gotta get the right. Like I'm becoming too orange right now or something, and that's not too good. But yeah, so that's what was I saying? No, just focus on just creating and adding value and just improving over time. Like I always say, like perfect is the enemy of done, and perfect is the enemy of good. Right? Focus on creating just good enough, improve, and what's like the ultimate? Like one day I want to see you with the mind value production. That would be crazy.
yeah, I
They have
guess
yeah. No, go ahead.
no. I was just gonna say, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's definitely the goal. But I think for me, man, if there's anything I learned in my journey, because I've had a lot of challenges along
Yeah,
the way. Like one of them, I had this quote unquote brilliant idea, huge
yeah,
quotation modes, that like, yeah, if I just share my videos with university professors, they're just gonna keep sharing with their students because
yeah,
I'm genuine. I'm not selling anything
yeah.
to them, and they all spit in my face,
Really? What'd they say?
right? Yeah, they pretty much said you're too young. I don't like your videos. You suck. Like I was just like, wow, these people are really rude.
Dude,
So
that's what you get from professors in college. Like,
it's
should have told.
nuts.
I would have told you they would have said that.
It's nuts, man. Well, I mean, I didn't know you back then,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
think
yeah,
the key driver for me, man, is what's the easiest way to win. Like, I would rather build a relationship with you, who's
yeah,
super open minded,
yeah,
versus even if you had 7 people watching, it doesn't matter. You have a
yeah,
lot more
yeah,
than
yeah.
7, obviously, but even if you had 7, it's a lot easier to just build people, relationships with people who are open,
Yeah.
and start with the pioneers first, and then mature and saturate
Look,
later.
one day I spoke in front of a college class, so I guess that counts, right?
I mean, I'm
No,
speaking from a college class too in a couple
you
weeks,
know
but
what's
that's because
interesting?
yeah, go ahead.
I so when I was starting the Toastmasters Club, we tried to get people, right? And I went to the dean of the Columbia Business School at the time,
Damn.
and I was like, hey, we want to get. Is there a way we could promote it to your school? And he was like, yeah, the MBA people, they already have experience. You should go after the international MBA students. And then I was thinking like, and I look back and I'm thinking like, dude, I work in corporate. Now I work in corporate. And I'm thinking like, dude, most people in corporate suck at presenting. People
Oh
are waiting
yeah.
to grab their coffee. People meetings are boring. People use this like the what is the corporate speak? What are the terms that only exist during meetings? Let's rain check and I forgot all these weird words.
I just run away from these meetings,
Yeah,
man.
someone put in the comments like the words you hear during like the align. We need to get an alignment and
Synergies.
circle back and synergies and all these other words. But it was just interesting, like, and I realized it's just a lot of people are very close minded, and it's like there are very few people. Sometimes you may find people in marketing who are very good public speakers, or sometimes people at the top. But the majority of people who are VPs, like you're like falling asleep, man. You're like, oh, this is so boring. Like it's interesting. One of the best presenters I've ever seen. This guy presented statutory accounting for 2 days, and he was the best. Like I could watch him all day. This guy was like the funniest guy. He knew how to make everything funny. Oh, let's take a deeper dive. Like that. They say let's take a deeper dive. That's a very corporate speak. But yeah, so it's one of those things like work on the public speaking. A lot of people, it's like I'm glad you stuck with it because your video is really good. And I want to make an announcement. I'm starting a Discord. For no degree, so a
With
community of
Old
people.
Spice.
Yeah, and you know what? We'll get Old Spice to sponsor it. So I'm starting, starting a Discord, for people without college degrees. And you know what? I'll post the public speaking. I'll post your videos.
Oh,
You
thanks,
know,
brother. Very kind.
so, because again, it's something that people need. And playing Pokemon Go under the table during cope. Oh, that's acceptable. I used to do that. I remember I used to. Let's kind of take it back. You know the summer that Pokemon Go was released? That was like a magical summer,
I
dude. Like
remember
every
that summer. It
dude,
changed my life.
it was like such a magical summer. And then I used to go like at 2, 3 a.m.
Oh
and
yeah, it
used to
was
catch
nuts.
Pokemon. It was just nuts, dude. Like cops used to play. It was just like such a magical thing, and they messed it up with the updates and everything. But I gotta check my account. But it just got too tough to kind of compete. Did you play that summer?
Oh yeah, of course. But I had a huge disadvantage because I didn't have data back then.
Oh,
So I was like, it was a mess. I was just in the school and
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
make it work with the Wi-Fi back then. But yeah, it's I
Yeah,
had a
you know it's
huge
interesting.
huge
So I
crutch.
worked in Manhattan, so there were like 4 Pokestops where I worked. So you just at the desktop, and they used to be able to catch and stuff. So you know I might turn on the app, but it kills a lot of battery. Oh, we'll see. I don't know. You see it. Too many. I that summer I ended up broke. Yeah, I think did I have money? I think I had money to spend then. But yeah, so let's slowly start to wrap up. Hey Salman, nice to see you. You're such a cool dude. And yeah, so what's the last piece of what's the takeaway? What's the final thing that you want to say? And we got to definitely do this again. I always appreciate you. Screw those professors who rejected you. One day you can make a video of how these professors rejected you when you get to like 100K, and yeah, screw them.
Nah, it's all good, man. It's all love. I think that's what I learned over the years
Yeah,
is just focus on the people who want to support you and keep growing from there and don't pay attention to the people who are still living in the past.
yeah,
But yeah, I think the advice I would have that I think nails really nicely for those of you who have invested 51 minutes listening to us.
yeah, yeah.
The advice is the same I give on every podcast, which is be insane or be the same.
Mm.
If you want to be like everyone else, that's totally fine. But if you want to do something important with your life, you want to do something cool, meaningful, the only way forward is the path of insanity. I mean, we're
Mm.
such great examples of this. We're doing a live show on a Friday night. I'm in my mother's basement, despite the fact that I coach C-level executives and I have a pretty successful business. I still live with my mom while she's sleeping
Smart,
upstairs. I
smart move.
still listen to Justin Bieber. I still dance alone in my basement. We're all bizarre, but it's that uniqueness, it's that insanity that allows us to create something that's truly unique. It's not the fact that I was all of these things. It's because I'm all of these things that I'm able to create Masterstruck in such a unique way. So I encourage all of you to do the same and embrace your insanity.
No, I love it. Look, I am certifiably crazy, right? Like I quit a great
I
job.
mean,
I was
look at your hair. It's like that's
yeah, no,
just
it's all
crazy right there.
yeah. Look, it's the camera
Did
that
you
does
put
it.
like
Like
Old Spice on it? Is that what happened? You just
maybe I don't know. Maybe I was like this, and then I touched my head and something. I don't know. Maybe something like that happened, but no, you have to be sort of crazy in some way, right? And it's okay, right? Crazy is good as long as it's it's a productive crazy. Now, Jamal, you're not disqualified if you have a degree, but just don't talk about it too much in the Discord server,
yeah, I don't
right?
mention it too much.
Don't mention it too much. Um, it's again, it's all about community. It's all about a community to just help others with resources, upskilling, no MLMs and stuff. You could promote you could promote your Old Spice and stuff. That's fine. You could promote that stuff.
You can get an MLM to sponsor you.
That was, see, look,
This is brought to you by Herbalife.
yeah, no. So look, let me tell you what. I stay away from the MLMs because, dude, they see me and they're like, oh my god, you can just exploit these people. But look, I got a soul. I don't go lower than Old Spice. Right? That's the floor
That's
of
like
it.
the bar.
Yeah.
It's like
How
Hacks Old Spice.
how do you become a YouTuber? You start a video, you get like 4 views, and you keep doing it for years at a time,
Until you
right?
have 7 views.
Yeah. And then you get to 7 views, you get to 9 views, you get to this, you deal with trolls, you stick to a niche, and you keep doing, and you keep climbing up. So thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate each and every one of you. We hit 20 to 25 viewers. I haven't hit that in a while because I haven't gone live in a while. So what are MLMs? That's a whole nother thing. Multi-level marketing. Don't get
We'll
involved in
we'll do
them.
an episode.
We'll do an episode
We
where
have
Brent,
Brendan here, the king of MLMs, too, in the
King of
future.
Herbalife. Hey, thank you. Hey, CC, nice to see you. And you know what? Send me a DM. I suck at organizing these things and announcing it, but I'm gonna start an email list where I won't spam you. I might send you an Old Spice email, but I'll kind of let you know what I'm up to, and it'll sort of be valuable. And I'll keep it short, and I'll keep some jokes in there. So stay in touch. I really appreciate you. Keep dropping gems. Have a good one and level up.